Hello, YouTubers and all that's happened to watch. This is a DanVanDam Friends Podcast, flying solo yet again. Steam Deck. Let's talk about that for a minute. So, Steam Deck itself is quite an interesting little device. You have a price point that's pretty reasonable. It offers a couple options for those who are tech savvy to be able to develop for and probably, do what they feel and want with the thing. Now, this is obviously housed by Valve, so there's probably going to be some DRM in there stuffed inside the device, and it's going to be no different probably than using a cell phone, blah, 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 blah. Let's get that out of the way before someone chimes in with that. However, this thing is probably going to be the most useful device for a lot of people handheld-wise for times to come if they're PC fanatics. Now, it operates as a handheld PC, which of course, this is nothing innovative on behalf of Valve. This has already been established already with so many devices such as GPD, which is a device developed in China, which of course has been pretty positive in terms of results and a lot of people's feedback with the said device. It's pretty much a handheld laptop that the GPD device uses such stuff as Windows 10, Windows 10 Pro. It can be practically a nice little device where you can install all kinds of games, even from Steam, already onto the device and off to the races you go. So it's pretty much, it bolds the question, okay, if you already own this type of device from GPD, or if you already own a laptop, you already own a PC itself, you own a Switch, you own a handheld, fill in the blank here, you own a cell phone, do you need to replace any of that, or do you need to add this along with those said devices right there? I mean, it really is dependent, and if you travel a lot, if you don't mind with your disposable income throwing down $400 for this device, I mean, if you're open-minded to using Linux by the gate, or if you want to install a Windows OS on this thing, are you tech savvy, are you not tech savvy? So all these different questions get presented when you look at this device. I myself look at this device and go, I'm kind of on the fence about it. While the price point is quite reasonable, it's about the price of an average console nowadays. However, the other question that goes in my mind, of course, is whenever I look at this device, I go, okay, so if I'm trying to make a new computer, would this be the replacement for me? Would this work for me? Now, for those folks who barely owned a computer that could practically play anything other than Scrabble, then you're practically going to say, okay, this could be a value for me, because it is extremely hard to find a GPU off the market. Extremely hard. Very hard. Extraordinarily hard. Now, unless of course you pay out the ass for some guy who bought a bunch of them with some sort of bot, then you're practically going to be sitting there twiddling your thumbs. Or if you get a pre-made computer with a decent video card, which is like a 1050 Ti, I think it is. Most of these computers are 1060 or something. Forgot the model name and brand. I don't know anymore. My brain's fried. It's mush. It's caca at this point. But basically, if you want to get a stock custom-made computer with these fancy parts in it, you're probably going to pay a decent penny for it. However, if you're practically already have a computer that runs most games pretty well, you have like a 360 or, a 3060 or plus, or you have a 1070 video card in your computer already, and you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs, happy dory, then you're probably not going to need this handheld anytime soon. Myself, I'm probably not going to look at this device at all when it comes out, because again, one, I can't afford it, and two, it looks cool, but at the same time, I already have so many handhelds and consoles in front of me, my head's going to spin off my socket, off the shoulders of my neck. So, I'm not going to say this thing's going to be horrible, and so I'm not going to say it's going to be crap, because again, I've never personally used one. There's a lot of tech channels who've used an early build of this thing. They don't know every ins and outs of it because they weren't allowed to use every ins and outs of it other than what they've been told for specifications that's inside the device. Is this thing going to replace the Switch, or those Switch users only use handheld devices? I mean, if those folks are tech savvy, know how to mess around with some code to, of course, install Windows and all that onto the device, heck, there's no information of how to install these OSs on the thing yet. Unless you're probably going to go to the tutorial someone looked up on the forum and of course made a video for shortly after. Fourth wall. So basically you have to look at it like that. I mean, again, my positive pull from it is it has okay specifications. It has a good price point. So again, if you're looking for a moderate computer or a decent computer that runs things at practically 720p, then there you go. I mean, this is going to be the device for you. Now, I'm not going to say this device is going to be horrible, but again, there's so many different little handheld computers out there currently too that Even so, there's already devices out there probably will destroy this Steam Deck other than the price point. Because in order to make a really good handheld, you're going to have to put some money behind it to produce it, and it's not going to be cheap. Or even making parts small enough to fit in this thing, and of course, selling it like that. So again, it's really subjective what you feel is value to the dollar. So, heck, my opinion is that worth that of a grain of salt. Take it as you will. Sporadically moving on, of course, we're talking about Glimesh. Now, Glimesh, I tried it out for a couple of minutes, and I wanted to see what the service was all about, the website was all about. I wanted to see how it performed, how it ran, how the community was, for that matter. Now, I'm not leaving Twitch anytime soon. I'm just kind of checking out options out there. So when I looked over at Glimesh, I tried it out. I was like, okay, what is this website all about? So I looked at it, and it gave me fond memories of jumping from a different website other than YouTube for a little while to try it out. So I was like, hey, this ain't too bad. This is pretty cool. And so I'm trying the website out, and it has practically the same, I would say kind of like the same vibe as a Mixer, but it feels like Mixer 2.0 more than anything else. Now, this is, to me, it does a lot of good things right. It has great tools out of the gate. They're still developing it. It's currently in its alpha status, but it has really good elements in there. So again, if you're a person who just likes ease of use, just wants to use it and have a clean, simple interface, it has a lot of cool ideas going for it. But again, does it have the backing very similar to Twitch at the moment when it comes to funds? Not necessarily, but with the, I would say, a lot of the cool elements of it, such as no ads at the moment, it's going pretty good, I think. Now, a few things I have with it critique-wise is hopefully they can add different features in there, such as hosting, as well as something that's a safer option to rating, and of course, you know, for me anyway, more tools in the shed here, so to speak. Now, those of course have been announced. They're currently working on those at the moment, so no biggie. Now, my concern with the website is it going to morph eventually over time into another Twitch? Is it going to become another Twitch that everyone is having a lot of problems with currently? Now, I've seen that a lot of the devs and everyone else behind Glimesh is very positive. They're very supportive of their community. They've just been very vocal. They've been setting up a lot of different options for people to use it so far from what the tools they have in the shed, and it's been so far pretty positive and effective for a lot of people's mindsets. Has been positive vibes. So that can practically say that it's safe at the moment. And I think back even on Twitch's shoulders, back in the day, it was kind of similar. So that concerns me. But at the same time, I'm not going to, piss on positivity either. I'm going to say, okay, this website is simply doing the right things. It's doing, a lot of positive things I've seen so far, at least for a lot of what people want for a streaming service. People have been getting good numbers. People are getting good positive community. They've been seeing a lot of friends and familiar faces pop up on there too. So it just really bolds the question, is it worth probably switching over from YouTube or Twitch over to this service? And I mean, I can honestly say, if you want to try something different, if you liked how Mixer was, but unfortunately because of Mixer shutting down as it was and eventually moving to Facebook, I mean, everyone, as soon as I said Facebook, everyone's ears automatically turned off there. I promise you, if you give me back ears for a second, I'll bring you back on track here with this. It's not so bad at all that Glimesh is doing what it's doing at the moment. I could possibly say that in the future I'd probably use it off and on, but it's time will tell. I have a lot of commitments towards GOGCOM currently on the website, on Twitch. My own channel personally, I'm still trying to grow, so I mean, that's all I can really say about all that there. So again, I felt like every single time I switch over to something new, it's literally a fresh slate, and it's starting from the beginning when I'm still trying to earn and grow as a person on a platform. So again, it's just sort of like tail of the tape, if you will. So speaking of tape, I started taking editing videoing again. Editing videoing, what? That makes any sense? Probably not. That's a Danerism or something, I don't know. Scribble it down, I don't know. So basically I've been working on trying to do video editing again, and so I decided to use my hit film stuff I have sitting around, and boy oh boy have I forgotten how they charge a lot of money for these different little add-ons that most of my older software gave to me for free and I didn't even have to pay for it. I mean, most software nowadays, yes, you got hit film for free, so there has to be a string attached, of course. But a lot of even some of the simplistic settings have been also, they're pretty much charging you for it. I mean, yes, you can do chroma key for free, which is supremely cool. So, I mean, that part is positive for me. But yeah, I've decided to work on a video, and I'm using it, and I'm like, man, this is, I haven't done this in a while, and it feels good. I enjoy it. And this is something I like to do every once in a while, is goof around with some tech and just go nuts, and just do something fun. I do a lot of my transition stuff with, some various pieces of software insert here, but it's honestly, it feels good to kind of just learn it again and just get used to it. Now, during every season, I like to change my transitions on Twitch or do whatever on my streams on Twitch itself. And I have an idea streamed up and set up for my head, but of course I have to execute it, obviously. So, with that said, of course, cannot wait to what I can probably do in the future with this software, but for now I'm just going to try to see if I can use what I can with the software, hit film, and go from there. But that's all I got really to talk about. I mean, it's really vague on the hit film because I'm working on a project in which I'm giving myself my own personal NDA, so I'm not trying to spill the beans quite yet what I'm doing, but it's going to be something quite cool, I promise. Again, if you want to check me out on Twitch, you can follow me up on there. If you wish to check me out on Twitter, you can check me out on there. And I'll be usually streaming daily on GOG.com from Mondays and Fridays. Where Fridays I do coverage games that are pretty much a release title or game that's on sale on GOG.com. Or I usually do my play series, which is currently Lands of Lore, Guardians of Destiny, which I'm currently playing through, as well as those VODs. For that will, of course, be on my channel here on YouTube. Check those out as well if you so desire. But anyway, if you like what you saw, be sure to give me a follow, click that bell, and if you don't, they're going to stuff me in the basement again. Take care!